Did it.
Mine's still trying. There we go.
Session now live. We did it.
We did it. Hello.
Good morning.
And it is 10 o'clock.
Hey, we did it. We got here on time.
We have done that more than once, but sometimes it's the looking at. So I don't know. I'm on the wrong side of you now that I'm normally on, I think. So good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Take a second to say hi. If you're catching this on replay, do hashtag replay. Let us know.
Exactly. This is a different topic for us.
It is. It is. I mean, it's still in the realm of all things social. It is directly related, but it's kind of like why we're where we are now. So,
Exactly.
as
All right,
consumers of social media,
YouTube, I have us on Facebook, and I'm sharing this video, as should you, if you know any small business owners who would like some free training.
That's right. All right. Today's topic is
Drum roll, please.
Exactly. COVID-19 and how it has changed social media forever.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. Sounds like,
I mean, it is a very serious topic.
It is, yes.
At no point are we downplaying the impacts of COVID-19, but there were some very specific things that happened in social media and the way social media is used that we feel like small business owners and marketers should be aware of.
Exactly.
Good morning, Nikki. Thank you for being here, Savita, aka Savita. Glad you're here.
Try to pull us up really quick.
So
and it does directly affect marketing and how you're here. Oops. Here we go.
Yeah. And we would love to hear from you in the comments how if any way COVID-19 and the shutdowns and things like that impacted your business.
Exactly. It actually affected different niches in different ways. So some niches saw huge gains while some saw tremendous sort of a recession in their business. So one of those is the restaurant business. It was really hard hit. Entertainment, theaters, I mean, the theaters almost went out of business. You'll see that some of them still haven't come back, full force. So.
Exactly. But as far as an online business, there's still impacts that we're sure you guys are feeling, we're feeling. But for those of you who have adjusted, a lot of the impacts can be mitigated. And that's what we're going to talk about today is the 3 trends that seem to be sticking around even after 2 years. And we don't think they're really going to go anywhere. So we want to talk about them for you and show you how to navigate them going forward.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe that it has been a full 2 years since the first, shutdown occurred, which lasted forever. So that is in itself what has changed the face of social. So, all right. So number 1 way that it has changed.
Well, she's jumping right into it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready. Let me buckle up real quick.
You taking number 1? You want me to take number 1?
Oh, I'll take number 1. But I'm going to preface by saying that it looked like in 19 and early 20 that, social media consumers were starting to be really, I guess, disciplined with their time and recognized, their desire for privacy. So there was the impending feeling that social media was going to kind of wane a little bit. Well, with COVID-19, the number one thing that happened is the opposite. People started spending massive amounts of time on social media, on their preferred platforms. They even went to new platforms to find that connection that was lost, or I guess, lost. We lost it for a while because we were staying separate, and people were turning to social media more than ever to find that connection that they were missing with like real live in person meetings.
Exactly. So people, we already had like Facebook portal, you had the face to like FaceTime and things like that. But social media was such an easy way to have that face to face, even though it's not, you felt like it was still that face to face. So the amount of time that was spent, what was the statistic, Jess? So like in 19,
Well, in
65.
19, it was 56 minutes. In 20, that number went to
Like 65 minutes,
60,
I believe.
yeah, 68 or something. And then in 2021, we have a hard time finding a consistent number, but that number is close to 2.5 hours. So 140 minutes, which is over double.
So if that number is in fact true that we researched to try to find 145 minutes up from 65 minutes, that means daily consumption doubled during COVID, we'll put it like that. And that is an amazing statistic to have jumped that much, especially from 56 to 65 the year before. And especially with knowing that the trend was, people are, you saw a tremendous amount of trying to take a social media detox, trying to be in person relationships. There was that negative connotation of social media prior to COVID. So
exactly. And then the pandemic came along and you had this stress and this chaos, and people were now flocking back to platforms to kind of get that sense of connection and community that they couldn't get anywhere else. And it was really, so for those of you who know, I had Olivia the day it became a pandemic. So we went into the hospital in one world and we came out with her in another. So for me, that first month was nothing but new baby. So a lot of this, I had to research and kind of come back abreast with it on the hindsight. But social media was like the only place with an open 24-hour sign to communicate and to engage with other people, because things just shut down.
Exactly.
Completely.
Yeah. So I, at that time, at the very first shutdown, like I live in two different places. I live 4.5 hours. I live at the beach and live in Tuscaloosa. So even for that first 3 months, like we didn't even travel to the beach. Like it was just crazy. So being able to keep up, on social media with our friends and family in that area was, a big deal at that time. And especially when you go back and, you didn't realize it at the time, how impactful it was. But now looking back on it, and again, being removed from it for 2 years, even though we're still, feeling effects of it. So
Exactly. Fun fact, Facebook had almost 24/7 engagement during those first few weeks of the pandemic hitting, versus, having the off times and things that you would see previously and that you kind of can start to see now. 24/7.
yeah, I mean, imagine like when we first shut down, like people didn't have remote work in place at the time. That's another huge change that COVID brought, is like the whole work from home, remote work thing that came. But so all businesses were scrambling, closing and trying to figure out what to do. So people had so much disposable time, at that time. It was like vacation, for a lot of people. Good, bad, or ugly. So the consumption just immediately jumped.
Right. All right. So the first trend, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. You might see the numbers drop a little bit, but more time is being spent overall on social media than ever before. Number two, you want to take number two?
obviously the use of live video, again, in that quest for, I guess, entertainment and networking. I don't know how to say, but that was a huge rise there. So the TikTok like hit the scene and just exploded due to people looking for an avenue. Most of the people had their TVs on at home, and it was like full force news and all of that, the bad. So they're looking for, some entertainment value, and TikTok, not reels until a little bit later, but came and sort of filled that entertainment void that people were looking for. So especially since, you couldn't get out and do those entertainment type things. So video, I don't remember we had a statistic, but like how much video is consumed is an amazing number. Maybe we'll put it in the blog, but
yeah, time spent watching video increased 85%.
Yeah. So
year on year.
Yeah.
Obviously that poised TikTok to come into power. Not really power, but they definitely hit the market at the right time to capitalize on that video need. But it's also not just TikTok, like video content in general, live streams, all of that, help build relationships with customers that can't really be accomplished with just text and graphics. So you're able to communicate more effectively because you're using all of your senses, sight, not taste, sight, sound, and emotions, which just hits a lot more with the human experience than just text and graphics.
Exactly. For so many businesses, even myself. So we're an agency as well. We have agency customers that are still they were in the school of, you needed to go by and see them, carry them some cookies once a month, and do that. So once COVID hit, it really opened up. Zoom had been around for a super long time. So that, video conferencing or live, however you want to look at it on social, but to be able to do that, look at how much time is gained by not having to drive to the appointment. And you can still get, it's not exactly the same as being in person, but it did hugely change the face of Zoom. It's a household word now, and lives here on social. Whereas before they were around, but now it's just commonplace.
Exactly. Love it. So more video content, that's not going anywhere. We do not see that trend waning at all. If anything, possibly getting more intense on the needing video content. Yeah, pants optional. Love it. I love all the Zoom memes that exist now.
For sure. Again, entertainment value too for that.
Yeah. Okay. And the third one that kind of changed, I think, for the better. And we don't really see that going anywhere because, as you guys know from showing up with us, that people don't love to feel marketed to. So the type of content also shifted a little. What people are interested in, what people are more readily available to consume is this more authentic, fun, lighthearted content over the more serious, consistent marketing type campaigns. I think everyone, with the stress and the chaos and the uncertainty that kind of has ensued over the last 2 years, people don't like to feel pitched to. People don't like to feel marketed to. So the most successful marketers going forward are going to be the ones who figure out a way to social sell.
Exactly. And to use the tools that are at their disposal, just like we talked about, is like going live. Like, we are here with you. You can set that date to come in and, find out what's going on with us. So you're checking that box. Another huge, and we've touched on it, is entertainment, that more lighthearted content for sure. And even within marketing, finding other ways to not be so pitchy. And then I think the last way with this is like authenticity, because of this, live that you get to do. You get to really be the face of your business and be really authentic. And that's, people do business with people. So when you can show up in this way, it makes a big difference in your business. And I think most people, were scared to try this until COVID hit.
Exactly. The more approachable. I think that's a good one too. Like approachable and human like, which I think is why we've been able to do so well, because we are not perfect. We're late to lives a lot. But we're real people. So I think that resonates with a lot of the audience that we capture now, and that will be what resonates with the audience that you capture going forward.
For sure. So good, the COVID in itself obviously has been downplayed a little bit. It's obviously rising back up some. There's a new strain. So we're going to be, in this marketing cycle or using social media cycle for a while still. So adjust and pivot, use some of the things that have been born out of it to connect with your target market.
Exactly. And do whatever you can with this, knowing that more time is being spent, that video content is king right now, and that value driven, engaging, human connection content is what is going to fill in those gaps for what people need in the environment that we're in.
Exactly. Currently. And always remember, it's more about them than you. So, and again, that's why they're scrolling social media, is to have an outlet to catch up on news, to catch up on entertainment, whatever it is. So that direct pitch is just sort of falling by the wayside now. So got to pivot.
Exactly. I love it. I'm not sure if Olivia is going to ever make a cameo appearance. Well, maybe when she's like 8 and she's helping me with graphics and stuff, she can be our little support person.
Yeah, my Louie is trying to. I'm gonna have to. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's trying to make an appearance. I'm gonna have to go put him up. He's at the door.
Exactly. All right. So that was our 3 trends that aren't going away.
Yeah.
We've given that a good amount of thought, and just kind of having been here, I did take most of 2020 off. Poor Julie. But she was here the whole time. And
it was rough.
Yeah. And 2021 was, I was here the whole time. So that was definitely a learning experience and kind of learning that new environment. But we'd love to. Oh, you brought him on for cameo.
Okay. Not on purpose, but I was going to take a second to realize the other door was open, is why I could hear them. So Louise making a cameo really quick.
Savita, yep. What I'm learning is people just want to feel good, and you attract who you attract. Yep. Right. It's true. There is just no place for content that doesn't leave some kind of positivity, which is, I think, why our MVP strategy really has done so well, because it shook things up for people who spent so much time working on these like big elaborate promo posts and campaigns, but they were missing the one thing that people come to social media for, especially now. And that is the motivational and the visibility content, which the motivational makes people feel good. The visibility makes people feel connected because they get to talk to you, and ideally you're talking back to them every time you get a comment. So none of that is really by accident. And I think that was just a testament to how we kind of pivoted our strategy based on what happened in the post-COVID, or I don't even know, because it's not post, so I take that back, but like in the environment that we're in now.
Right. I think it, ultimately helped us to realize, what was sort of missing from a lot of marketers, I guess, portfolio of what they're putting out. And it's that human connection. It's not just sell.
Yep. Thank you, Tracy. Says we're attracting our tribe with our raving fan base. Nice. Love it.
Yeah. Tracy left us an awesome comment in the group. If you're not in our group, it's facebook.com/groups/get socially inclined. Y'all should, if you're on replay, come join us there.
Exactly. Or you can go to sociallyinclined.com/Facebook-group.
There you go.
And you can get us there. And we'll also give you access to our free toolbox just for going that route. All right. So that was the topic. Are we opening it up for questions since today's not Julie's birthday?
Yes, we are. Okay. And we did take a couple of questions last week on my birthday. So I tried to tell Jess today that I was still celebrating my birthday. She wasn't having it though.
No.
So
it's like
I need a month of celebration. So yeah, specifically how has so back a little bit on the topic, like I went to visit my parents yesterday, and my parents are in their 70s, but they're young 70s. They're on the, like they're 72. But anyway, they're young for 70. They act like 50-year-olds, I guess. Anyway, so I'm talking to my mom, and my dad is not on Facebook. But he's got my mom's what her old phone that's hooked up, to their Wi-Fi probably, and he is scrolling the whole time I'm there. He's talking, but he's scrolling, and he gets up 3 or 4 times during the time to show me reels that he's looking at. So I know firsthand how much people are on more, because normally he wouldn't, before COVID, he wasn't, online. So, and he doesn't have his account. We have, for the blog, we have some really striking stats as far as how many people are on social. And so he's not even counted in that because he doesn't have his own. So how many people are like that share an account that aren't even in those numbers? Yes. So Heather says her dad's 81 and is addicted to social media. Yeah, he was enjoying it so much. And there is that, so I have I have a friend that's doing a social media detox. She gave up social media for Lent. So that's a big deal. I personally try to get on. We touched on this last week, I guess, when we had the scheduling. I try to get on a couple times a day because it is so entertaining. I will find myself scrolling myself through, when I should be working. So I set times to get on myself and interact and do the things so that I don't get sucked in. But he was sucked in.
So Janine has a question. She's ready to pull the trigger on our platform. I'm thinking you're talking about your social plan there. Awesome. Does it support 2 IG accounts? I have a business and a personal brand. Will I be able to post to both of my accounts? As long as they are business accounts on Instagram, you can set both of those up.
Yes, you can have as many as you need. The requirement is from Facebook, from the API, is that it has to be a business account. Currently, you can have business, creator, or personal. So to direct post, it must be business and it must be connected to a Facebook page. So there is no downside except for one that I know of changing from personal to business if you want to direct post. Obviously, direct posting gives you flexibility in scheduling. The music selection is not as great for personal. So that is a downside. A plus side is you get better stats. And then I had a third one actually. And you don't, so let's say it requires you to connect to a Facebook page. You don't actually have to, you just have to create one. You don't have to actually use it, but it has to be connected to one, and it can't be the same one as your business. So reach out on chat. You might have, I answered this same question yesterday It probably went to your email, so check your promos. But come back to chat and we'll help you get set up.
For sure. Heather, I feel this. My downfall is a group chat on Facebook that's very active. I check it and then I start to scroll. I'm trying to break that habit. Yes.
On text too, but yeah, so Facebook group chats, they are being used a lot in the network marketing field right now, sort of piggybacked off of VIP groups. So they use the sort of like a VIP messenger for like parties. So if you haven't gotten in one, that's how they're working. So I'm in one. I have a friend. We have a bunch of friends that sell network marketing. So that's the side hustle today. But, they do 20 different bundle specials and, you've got 40 people in it and they're all commenting. It's a great way to sell. But if every time it goes off, if you are sucked into coming back to check it and then you start scrolling, it can be a time suck for sure. So I don't know, set a timer. Like, do we have a do we have a good way to not let that happen? Resist the urge and just check it twice a day.
Exactly. I'm so excited for you, Tracy. She's got she's boxing up her art kits to do her date night paint party.
Yay.
And because she's coming to content class, she knows everything she needs to do to market it.
Exactly. And she's realized in the last content class that we had that she probably needs a learn to paint box, party box, whatever. Learn how to paint. So she's going to have like a lot of options.
Exactly.
Oh, here, Camille. For years, there's been a debate over whether scheduled posts are given less reach by the AI and any more current thoughts. I remember we just talked about this, but let me read the rest of it. I remember when Hootsuite first came out years ago, it was said that it was garnered about 80% less reach by posting through Hootsuite instead of naturally. There have been we just did this.
Those studies.
Yeah, this was that Thursday's topic? I don't know. Monday, Thursday, somewhere. Anyway, it's
Monday.
Yeah. All right. So this week we talked about it, and there have been thousands of studies, and there has been not one shred of evidence that it does. With our MVP strategy, it is all about the algorithm, really, is what's going to make or break you. When you schedule, it means you're not on the platform, and you need to be on the platform for comments, if that makes sense. So I think it's really the fact that people might not, like I just told you that I get on 2 or 3 times a day and I comment. That's what helps the algorithm. So I think for anyone, I would try it. I would just be really cognizant to make sure that you get on the platform and engage. And then give us your feedback. We've not heard from one person that they feel like their reach has changed for the worse. Exactly. Definitely changed for the better.
Yeah. In fact, that's kind of a big part of what those quote unquote findings were, is they happened about the time that the algorithm made a big adjustment. Was it in 2018 for engagement and the way engagement is achieved? So a lot of that has been mitigated with, these strategies that we help people with. And like Julie said, that the biggest problem is if you just schedule content and you never actually log into Facebook, or you never actually go over and, interact with your followers on Instagram, then that will hurt your engagement. But scheduling a post, we've even tested it ourselves. And a lot of times we get more engagement on posts that were scheduled because we can target them to the exact time where there are more people online.
Exactly. And then we'll know to go in. We're going to start getting notifications that people are commenting. So then we go in and interact with it. But the biggest benefit in my mind for scheduling is that it's not just willy-nilly, oh, I need to post something. You actually have a strategy behind it, and you can, get ahead, which makes you feel better about, where you are. You're actively working your business when you schedule.
Exactly. So Camille, if you want to head over to the blog, sociallyinclined.com/blog, and just in the last 2 weeks, we've done one on the algorithm and then one on this whole engagement debate. You can read some good information there. And then, look around yourself as well.
Exactly. And, again, too, about that time is when the algorithm itself changed, where it favors engagement. I mean, it favors commenting. It favors staying on the platform for commenting, but also the type of content that people were scheduling was natively promo, because that's all people knew to do in business was to promo. But when all you do is put out promotional content or business content, you're actually training your people to scroll right by your posts. If the algorithm sees someone scroll by your posts a couple of times, it deems that they don't want to see your content, like they're not your people. So it's going to be harder and harder to get back in front of them per the algorithm. So a good mix of content scheduled is fine.
Exactly. And Savita, Nikki, her question is, how important is it to comment prior to posting? Someone mentioned that helps with visibility. What are your thoughts? I think it might have been us, because it does help with visibility. It's especially important before you go live, but really anytime, because the more comments, the more activity you can show, responses and things like that. It's all about the algorithm, and it tells Facebook that you're not just a profile, but you're actually there, and you're using social media to be social.
Exactly.
Which I think is why so many small business owners struggle with getting engagement, because they think of social media as just something they have to do, and to post content on, to be present, but then they forget that how smart social media is now. It knows when you're just using it for
post and ghost.
Post and ghost.
No posting and ghosting anymore. So you have, and that's, again, you're saving time by being able to schedule it. You can look at your stats, know when they're going to be live. And then when you start getting, the comments, you can come back in and comment yourself. That refires the algorithm. So it is really smart.
Yep, almost annoyingly so.
Yeah. And again, why we've, pivoted and created the MVP strategy, because that is what the algorithm is favoring at this time.
For sure.
Yep. So Nikki says, I'll just set a timer to comment prior to posting. Sounds like a plan. Yes. So again, and if you schedule your posts, you can also schedule your time to be online. So if we deemed our post should post at 9 a.m., let's say, I can set a timer for me to go in at 8:50, start interacting with people. There comes my post. I can still interact with some people. And then, again, at lunchtime, I can come back and revisit it. And then it stokes the algorithm again for that same post.
Oh, yeah. Perfect example. I shared something on my timeline the other day. I don't usually do this, but it was an ad for a coffee cup that keeps your coffee warm, 135 degrees to be exact.
I need one.
For all of my close family, they always laugh at me. Like, if my coffee isn't, I need a skin graft hot, then I won't drink it. Like, it's got to be literally fresh out of the pot or fresh out of the pour over or whatever. So I shared that, and I was a little disappointed, because I got, like, my mom liked it, and that was it. And then I think Julie came along or something, and she commented that she needed that too. And now it's got like 10 interactions, and this had nothing to do with business. This was on my personal profile, but it got 10 interactions over 48 hours after I shared it, and has gotten a couple comments this morning, again, 48 hours after I shared it. So I would have thought that post was dead, but that was just a perfect testament to what happens when you can kind of go back in and re-engage some of your posts to help the algorithm throw it back out there on some more news feeds for you.
Exactly. And so for the people that don't exactly know how the algorithm works, you know, you may have 100 people on your page, let's say, or your profile, friends, whatever. The misconception is that everyone sees your post. No, there's not enough room in the, in the news feed, obviously, for that to happen. So it'll show it to us, your most engaged people that interact with your content. If then they don't interact with you, your post is sort of dying. So hopefully some engaged person gets back on later on and can comment, and then it brings it back up and it'll show it to a few more people. So it's just trickling out based on engagement now. So you got to get some engagement. You got to have a business bestie. We talk about that too. So people that will comment and help get it going.
Exactly. Love it. All right. I say we call it, Julie, unless anyone has another question. Camille, thank you. I'm glad that makes sense. No worries on your call. Thanks for being here.
Exactly. Go Tracy, get your boxes out. Excited for you.
Yeah, Savita, that's how it works. The more you show your face, the more people comment.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And I microwave my coffee at least twice. So
I know. Yeah. Julie, I am a coffee snob. It's got to be fresh, and if it's microwaved, it's done. No.
I did get for Christmas, so the coffee mug that Jessica, like, I'm thinking, oh, I need that, and then I look at it
and you're like,
it's $150, and I'm like, eh. So my son, so it's a thing for me too. My son got me a little warmer. It's a little thing, you plug it in and you just set your coffee on it, and it was $5. So, but it's still in the box. I need to dig it out. That made me want to dig it out. So I'm gonna dig it out.
Yeah, maybe I need a $5 coffee warmer. But the thing about this one is apparently it's like the entire mug, and it just keeps it.
It keeps it warm,
hot.
Yep. I might break down and get one. Who knows? But now that here's
that'll
another.
be our present to each other when we reach 500 YSP members.
There you go. So now that I looked at that ad, and so you'll see that the new ads that you get. And that's one last point I want to make about the algorithm and how it works. So it wears me out to see people's ads, and there are people like, stop showing me this ad. Because they commented on that ad, they're going to see more ads like it, because that is how the algorithm works. So if you don't want to see someone's content, don't comment on it. Don't interact with it, and don't even read it. Like, scroll fast.
Yeah. That's what's creepy is Facebook knows. So anytime I see something that I don't want to see, or like it's from somebody that I don't want to see, and I don't feel aggressively enough about it to like unfollow them or click and say stop seeing posts like this, just scroll past it.
Yeah,
really fast.
Quickly. Yeah. The amount of time you stay on a post is part of the algorithm as well.
For sure. All right. Well, it's been a good week. Watch your emails, because we're going to change formats. I think for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That'll be all the teaser I give you. So read your email.
That's right. We've got some big things we're trying to get going.
Big things with a tiny team.
Yep.
So.
All right.
But we will see you next week.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
All right. Bye.
And head over to the blog. Click on some things. Read some stuff. Learn the thing.
Learn a thing. Implement the thing.
Yep.
Take action.
Yep. Happy Passover and happy Easter. Thank you, Heather. We're not live on Facebook anymore.